Hello again. So today, I kind of have, I'm going to do an easy little project today. I want to plant this bowl up. This is a aloe vera bowl. Look how pretty that is. I got that down, and it's, one of these kind of oval ones. I got that down when I was visiting my friend Katie. I think I bought that in Sebastopol. But it's pretty decent size. It's about 6 inches across and, 14 inches long. What is it? Probably about 6 inches deep. 5 inches maybe, whatever. So I'm going to plant that up. I have, these guys are I just watered them. So I have these two bowls. And in my last video, I said I was going to be making like a cactus bowl out of one of them. And then sempervivums in this small one. I have one more. And, it's a decent sized one. It's not real big around, but it's kind of deep. And I need to get these Sarracenias out of them. I've been separating all these plants. I need to sell a bunch of these. These ones were from earlier in the year, and they've pretty much died back. And then I still have a few that are still, doing good. And then the fall ones will be waking up. But I want to pull all those out because I want to have that bowl too. So I'm going to use all three of these bowls. And I think I'm going to make a succulent fairy garden. So I went yesterday to Green Acres and I found a bunch of, this is a piece of wood I just found laying on the ground, but it's perfectly flat. I thought it'd be a cute little bench. And I just found a bunch of stuff, to make a fairy garden. I doubt I'll use all of it, but, and then I made a little ladder because I'm going to put that one, well, probably this one up. And then, they'll need a little ladder to get up and down. But I might change how I did this because the rope is too much. Maybe I'll use some hot glue. But I just kind of was trying to get an idea of how I could make a cute little ladder. Because they didn't have one. But they had lots of little stuff. That'll be a door to their house. And then I'm going to use, so my sempervivums will probably be here Wednesday or Thursday. They usually ship on Monday. It said 2 to 3 days, but I ordered them on Friday, which, they never ship until Monday. So I should have, I wasn't thinking about it. I was like, oh, those will be here in 3 days. No, Pumbaa, can you leave my saddle alone? What are you doing in here? You should be outside. It's nice, goofball. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out. Oh, look I'm getting a new leaf. This is my silver dragon alocasia, and this one is just a common one, but this one's flowering. Ooh, mealybugs, I better treat that. Oh, mealybugs on this one too. Oh, and this is my desert dragon that I brought in. It's got some new growth coming in the center. This was in my big wagon. It's got a little pup under here too, a couple of them I think. It's just been sitting here recovering. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is go outside. I'll bring you right back. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is, let's give these guys a little bit of light this morning, is I'm going to reorganize some stuff out here. Let's see how these are doing. We've had some really hot days, like, over 100. So I've been keeping everything covered, but this is doing okay. I mean, it's a little shriveled, some of the stuff, but it's actually not looking too bad. I can probably I think I'm going to water everything this morning. It's supposed to be 95 today. These cuttings were like, yeah, they weren't happy. This one's doing really good. I can tell by looking at those have all rooted. They're looking really good. Looks like I've got some mealybugs down in this propeller plant. I need to get after that. This one over here looks really good. Those are all rooted. The color is just amazing here. It looks like my red dragon is starting to lose some leaves. But that's normal in fall, and we're almost into September. This pot's looking good, but I was looking at this. It looks like it's getting some, I don't know, what is that? Aphid action? What is this? Are those mites? I don't know. It's kind of sticky. Oh, you know what it is? It's off of this. I need to cut this flower bloom. It's aphids. Oh, man, my little sempervivum is blooming out. We don't want that, but because those are monocarpic, I guess. They do die off. Every time one blooms out, I notice it dies. So what I'm going to do... Hi, baby. What you doing? You're wearing your cone of shame, huh? Yeah, so you can't get out from underneath the gate, because then you don't fit. You're so handsome. Yes, you are. Huh, Barbie? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I bump your thing? You're so cute. You're so cute. You wagging? You wagging? Good boy. Ah, buddy. Yes, you're a good boy, but you do like to escape. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm very distracted here, is I'm going to move all of these off this table. Oh, and here's the lovely rose that I planted as cuttings. So they're rooted. They're really starting to take off. Look how big this one is. This is as big as they've gotten. I'm going to move all of this stuff, with an exception maybe of that little palm. And, hey, stop it. Got the dog barking at the pig. And this is where I'm going to set up the fairy garden bowls. I think they'll all fit right here. And I might try to incorporate that little fountain. I actually have another fountain. Maybe I'll leave that one there and put the other one actually in one of the bowls. The mail's coming. So, yeah, I think I'll have room on this table, and it'd be really cute. And then in the wintertime, when the roof up here, which really leaks, the gutter always drains. This one's not looking quite so good. I don't know, did these not... It feels like it's rooted. Yeah, those feel like they're rooted in there. They maybe just need water. I think there'll be plenty of room over here. And then what I'm going to do, and then I can groom these up a little bit more too. Everybody needs water, I think, right now. Is I'm going to come over here. Look at that sempervivum. Isn't that pretty? That's a big one. I can't wait till my order gets here, because I ordered a lot. I ordered like 2 flats of, was there 20 in each one, or was there 40? I can't remember, but I'm going to get a lot of them. Look at this weed. You know what? That's a flower. That is one of those. Oh, I should pull that out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this, and I might use this wooden box in the back and set the bowl on it to raise it up to the second level, and then maybe plant a couple things on each end and see how that looks. And then I'll put all those little pots here, which is where I used to have them, and then they'll get some good morning sun, and I won't have to... Uh-oh. What's he into? Hey! Hold on, I gotta go see what that pig is getting into. What are you doing? Get out of there. Oh, he's messing with my jars. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'll bring you back. Let me figure out. First, we're gonna pot that up. We'll be back. Okay, so I filled it with soil, and what am I gonna put in it? I want it to look really cute. And so I have another neon breakers, because I bought 2 of these the other day. So I could fill this with these lily pads. I have a bunch of them. And, God, they're so dry. And then, actually I have 3, I could put 3 of these in there. And then maybe put that, I have 1 string of pearls, and let it hang over the edge on the end here. Oops. Flipping up a little more. And that might be cute. Let's see how that looks. If I don't like it, I can always pull them out and do it again. Yeah, there's a ton of tags. So they had them, prices, this place uses different colored, that has the plant's name, and then different colored tags to tell you how much each one was. So every one of those has 2 little tags in it. So I'm going to just pull off all of this peat moss, which is absolutely useless. Now, I read somewhere, so there's a motorhome driving around here. He's going really slow. Is he lost? He just went past my house, pulled into my neighbor's yard, turned around, and now he's down. There's a little side street right over there. He's driving really slow up that street. I think he's lost. And now there's a guy right up the road there who repairs or redoes motorhomes. I wonder if that's where, if he's looking for that place. I don't know. Okay, so these little aeoniums, I don't want to cut these because, well, actually, these should start. Aeoniums are summer dormant. Most of them. Are all of them? Maybe it's all of them. Look at this one's got all these little pups coming off the side. They should start growing. I want to leave the roots on these as much as I can, so they start growing good. Put all three of these, and then I can always pull these out and put them somewhere else if I want to use them somewhere. But for at least for now, they're going to get potted up, and I'll water this really good because I don't think I'm going to put any cuttings in here. A lot of traffic this morning. Yeah, so this video is going to be a little scattered, but that's okay. I just kind of wanted to get some of this stuff done. I'm going to put this third one right in here. So I bought 4 of these. I used the other ones in a pot that I did. What did I do with it? Oh, I think it's over there. We should go take a look at it and see how it's doing. So it's going to start cooling down now. I did notice today is Monday. What time is it? Oh, it's only 8:30. Okay, my horseshoer is going to be here at 11, and then I have a vet appointment at 1:45. What was I going to say? I forget what I was just going to say. Oh, I was going to say we should go check on some of the stuff. So we've got a couple of days next weekend where it's showing it's going to hit, the forecast was like 99, 98, 99, but it's usually about 2 degrees less than the forecast. And I do the Weather Channel app on my phone. That's the one that I go by. And I've noticed we're actually usually about 2 degrees lower than what the forecast shows. There. Let's see. Don't want to blow a bunch of dirt in my face. Okay, so let me go see if I can find. I kind of thought something trailing out of the end would be cute. I have no idea where I'm going to put this. I just wanted it, you know, because it was so pretty. And they have a bunch of these big ones that are, you know, the same peacock feather looking pots. But the big pots, the one I really wanted, oh, it was gorgeous. It was like $180, but it was a big, tall, regular shaped, you know, normal pot. So let me go look for something, because I kind of want something hanging over the edge of this one. So we'll go take a look. Hold on. Okay, so this is the string of pearls. And how about if I just take, let's get rid of all the dead pieces out of here. I don't want to cut any of the live ones. Where's this piece coming from? Let's get that out of there. Okay, get that out of there. This one was doing really good. The rest of them didn't make it. You know, they just got neglected. I didn't water them enough back in, oh gosh, was it last winter that they kind of started dying off? I mean, they've been hanging there for a while. Let's get rid of all this dead stuff off of here. Trim out all of this. Actually, let's pick it out. Put blooms from my monkey cactus hanging in here. But Yeah, this stuff will really shrivel up. So I've noticed here, we get so hot here. This stuff does great in the spring and fall if you give it shade in the afternoon and then a little morning sun. And but they're really expensive around here. I don't know why. So this is a senecio, and there's all kinds of, there's string of tears, string of dolphins, string of watermelon, string of pearls, which is, I think, the most common, most popular one that everybody knows. And so what I was thinking about doing is taking them, so you can see it's sending off little roots, and that'll root itself along the stem. So what I was thinking about doing, I see it bloomed over here. It's got some little spent flowers. That one doesn't want to pull off. We better cut it. What if as you can see how long it is? Look at this. It was just hanging down onto the ground. But I can lay it, I can pot it and then lay it and loop it and let it hang back down, and it's growing this way out of the pot too. So let's see what the root ball looks like in this thing, because I'd kind of like to keep all of the roots on here. Sorry about all the traffic. It is just so busy here in the morning. It's Monday morning, and I don't think I finished my thought, but it's like August 20, is it the 26th? What is it? It is 25th, August 25th. So we're almost into September, and the weather's starting to change. It's really cooling down. We're going to have quite a few days that are in the 80s, upper 80s. And a lot of times, we can have a really nasty heat waves all the way into September and October. So I'm hoping we don't this year. It's been a super mild summer, I have to say. I have no complaints because, we can have stretches of 2 weeks or longer of temperatures over 100 every day. And we didn't have that. We had a couple of days or a couple of times, 3 or 4 times where we had like 103, 104. I think maybe we might have hit 105 on one day. I can't remember if we get that high. But for the most part, the summer was very mild, so I was extremely happy about that. Let's see. Okay, this is the one. Let's just kind of stick that one back across there. So what I'm trying to go for is a little bit of it, hanging down. So when I set it, wherever I'm going to set it, we'll have some, because it, it naturally wants to trail. But maybe I'll just leave, because there's not much on, if I just let it all hang down, there's like 3 little pieces on the top. And I'd kind of like the top to fill in. Maybe I'll get another one and just stick it in there too. But I think I'm going to leave that. Can I get it? Because this part was hanging down also. It was just, I don't know. Should I just let the whole thing hang? I don't think I'm going to have it high enough. Oh, that's right. That's what I was thinking. It's not going to be high enough to let the whole thing trail, or it'll be laying on a shelf or somewhere, wherever I put it. Okay, which piece goes where? Is that one piece? Oh, that's just one piece. Okay. Well, I could cut it and try to reroot it, but I don't want to do that. I really want to let it just continue to, kind of stay how it is, because it's doing so well. So, let me just lay a little rock in there to hold that up. I know I'd set that on a couple of the little pearls, but that's okay. So I'll let that hang over, and then maybe it'll send another shoot off of here. I don't know, but I have a couple pieces trailing down. So I'm thinking on the other end, if I just put some, all these dead, this was pretty full. And I had like 4 or 5 pots of these. And originally I had them on a shelf where my dragon fruit, I had them up on the top shelf. But I just never watered them often enough, and they just dried out too much. So what do I want to put in there? Should I just put more plants on the other side, or should I put some like top dressing and maybe a little thing? Some sort of a little thing. What do I have? Oh, and you know what? I had a really good idea too. So in my fairy garden, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull, where are you? I'm going to pull that crested ghost plant there, and I'm going to plant it as a tree. Won't that make a cute little tree in a fairy garden? And it's probably pretty well rooted. I stuck that in there as a cutting, but I do see, if you look right, where's my hand? It's too pointy. If you look right there, that little piece right there, these are my scissors. That looks like fresh growth. It's opening up, so I believe it's rooted, and it's they're starting to open up. I've been watering out here, so I think that'll do really well. And I think it'll make a cute tree. I was thinking about that last night. I was laying in bed, couldn't go to sleep, thinking about how cool it's going to be. I've never made a fairy garden, and most people use green plants, lots of lush stuff, moss, all kinds of stuff. But I thought, you know what? I'm kind of a desert kid myself, and so, there's got to be fairies in the desert, right? That like cactus and succulents. They get plenty of water from their succulents, so they might like a little desert home. Yeah, so what else am I going to put in it? I don't know. I've got a lot of cool stuff. Everything's starting to look better now. It doesn't really look like it. I mean, it looks like stuff is still, like if you look right here. So those echeverias are like a pink and blue. They got a lot of burning over the summer, but they're starting to look better now that I've been putting water on them. I'm going to probably water again today as soon as I'm done. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do with this pot. So let's get back here. What else can I do on that end? Maybe I'll just put some more plants. Oh, now look at so I bought this yesterday when I was at the garden center at Green Acres, and this is a gardenia, and this one only gets, it shouldn't get much taller than it is. I think it said 3 to 4 feet tall, 2 to 3 feet wide. The tag is on it. I love gardenias, and this area over here used to have these huge, massive gardenias, and then I had a bunch of them in the ground over there, smaller ones, and I love the smell of gardenias. Oh, they smell so good. So I'm going to put it in a pot. I have a great big plastic pot. It's huge, in my bird aviary, and it's had a dead plant in it for the last 4 years. And I think I'm going to pull that out and plant this and put it out by the greenhouse, so I remember to water it. That's what I'm going to do with that. But okay, for now, I got to figure out what I want to put in here. Do I want to put, how about just one big fat Echeveria Sahara on that side? Let me go snag one, see how it looks. Okay, so I found this nice one, and it's not all squished. It actually had its own root coming off the side there, which was cool. I will put it in as a cutting because that's the only way I can get them off. But I took it off a plant that was just like right down here that I want to keep as more of a single plant. I'm going to be cleaning that area up. So let me move this back where I had it, because the last thing I want to do is, I'm just going to lay these up here for now. The last thing I want to do is drop this and break it. But the thing about it is, now when I find a plant that I'm like, oh, that'll be perfect in that pot, then I can just pull all these little filler stuff out, put whatever I want in it, and it'll be nice. Now let me get these back out of the way. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to plant, oh, and you know what? I have a ton of this mint truffle left, so I thought, you know what, why not stick a couple of those in there too? Because there'll definitely be room. I'll put those in the back. I'm going to put this, I kind of want it in the center, and it's got a long stem. I'd like to keep those roots on there. All the way down in there. The little roots down in there. There we go. And let's turn it around. And then these are just all, I just snipped them off. And they're all nice and healthy, but I have a ton of this stuff. I can just stick these in the back to fill this in. Take off a couple of these ugly leaves. And then a nice big fat one for the end. Just to fill that in. Let's see. Get down in there. Get down in there. There we go. That's kind of pretty. And that'll just have something in there so I can look at my pot and they'll have some pretty stuff in it until I figure out because I know I'm going to see a plant somewhere that's going to be perfect for this pot. It's going to match with the color. I got to go find a place to set this because I want to have it out of the hot sun, but still where it's getting some morning sun. So I'll be right back. Okay, had a little pause there because I saw a truck I didn't recognize pulling up to my gate, and so I went out, and it was Damon, a friend of mine. I haven't seen him in a few years. Sadly, his wife passed away really suddenly back during COVID. He has 2 pigs, and it was his wife and I that used to go down to Southern California every other weekend and pick up pigs. We'd find homes for them, and we'd go down and get them out of the shelters down there and take them to their new homes. So he does construction. Dave's talked to him a few times, but he lives, a ways from us. And so his pigs are doing good. He says they're both really fat. And he's working on a house right down the street. But what was interesting was, I don't know what it is about this area, but we were constantly having cars crash through our fences. It's happened to me twice. We just had one land in the neighbor's ditch across the road. They don't have a fence, luckily, and she missed the mailbox, but she was coming towards our house, shot across the street, hit this telephone pole, shot back across the street, and ended up in Ron's ditch. But right now, you can see a car that drove through our neighbor on the corner, drove through their fence, and is out in their field. So a lot of times what happens is there's a little side street right there, and it's kind of a blind corner. You have to kind of creep out pretty far before you can see down the road. You can't really see down that way, so you have to kind of creep out real slow and make sure it's safe. But a lot of times people aren't careful. They just come out around that corner, there's a car there, and there's an accident. It happens. I think this is the 4th car that's been in that pasture. I think this is the first time since these guys have owned the property, because they just bought this property not too long ago. But yeah, it's crazy. Oh my God. The car looks like it's on its wheels, so hopefully everybody's okay. There is a pretty big ditch there. But anyway, so, oh, you know what? As long as we're here, check out my Palo Verde. It is blooming like crazy. Look at all these flowers on it. It's so pretty. And there's tons of little buds everywhere. The top is all leafing out. So, and I can see at the end of each one where it's all little clumps of leaves are little flower buds. So it's really gonna bloom. Now I thought these only bloomed like in the spring and then we're done. So I don't know, but I'm here for it. I am loving it. Look at that. Yeah, it's so pretty. So I have been giving it water pretty regularly. I'll probably water it today. Let's see. It still feels a little damp. Yeah, maybe I'll let it go. I've got a little thing that you stick down there and it can tell you how much moisture is in the soil, and I need to really check that. And look at these stupid roses. They just do not want to die. They keep coming back. I need to knock those down again. So I need to find a place for that little pot where it's going to get some shade in the afternoon. Where do I want to put it? This one's doing okay. This is the one I did not too long ago, and I've kept it covered. But let's give it a little sun this morning. And these guys too. These ones aren't looking great, but you know, it's not too bad. They shrunk up quite a bit. These ones back there are not so happy, but those do struggle. You know, those are the superbum. I don't know. They just don't seem to do too well. But this one is looking pretty good. I like it. Yeah. So where am I going to put that pot? Oh, and I thought about it. I came over here. I actually pulled this up. This stuff was all rooted back into there. This is the string of tears, I believe. And I mean, it's really happy. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to pull that one out. Look at the blooms on here. This is crazy. The nice thing is there's no aphids. The ones that came up in the spring, everything was covered with aphids. I should really cut all these off so it's not stressing that plant so much because there's so many blooms. But I don't know. Now this one does have aphids, but it didn't before. So I'm going to cut those off. Okay. What I could do is I can move some of these little plants and I can set that pot right there, and so it'll get plenty of morning sun. Now after a while, the sun, as the year goes by, the sun starts getting more to that side, and then it doesn't get any sun here and I'll have to move it. But no, you can't come out a little midnight. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll set those somewhere else. And everything back here is doing really good, and I'll set that pot there. We'll be right back. Okay, so much traffic. Yeah, so that can stay there, and that'll get plenty of sun in the morning, and I think it'll probably get at least another good hour of sun here. What time is it now? It's 9:30 now. And yeah, those plants can grow out in there, and I can probably, if I want to, let that string of pearls, I think I'll leave it like that. But I will have to remember to water this one good, because those string of pearls will, although they'll do better in there, they dry out. Here's the other ones. It was sitting here. It was the last one that was alive, but they dry out so fast in these pots. And this little thing fell in there. I was hoping it would root. It's a little euphorbia. I just need to plant it up somewhere. But yeah, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and we're going to go pull this apart and get it ready to set over there and clean this little area up. Okay, so now what I need to do is, first of all, look at all the, okay, this is all the hay and grass and weeds that the starlings who like to nest above this, they just drop it, you know, they're flying up to their little nest and they just drop all this stuff. A little more. And I pulled my cart over into the shade. It was just getting way too hot in the sun. So it's 9:26, almost 9:30. And it's supposed to be a little cooler today. This looks like it's dead. Yeah, that's dead. I want to dig all of these little cactus out without damaging this. I can't really use the box to pry on the side. I got to be really careful because it's old and I don't want it to fall apart. I can't remember what this, I do remember what this is. Okay, so this was originally built, my first husband, Rick, built me this years ago for my shamrock seeds. I bought this little kit where you can just grow your little shamrocks. And so he built this little planter box for me to put them in. And they did really well. Okay, so those will come out. I'm going to set them in a pot. You can't see it. It's right there. And I did line this with plastic a long time ago just to keep it from falling apart too much. And I'm sure that helped. Looks like this one's dead too. So a lot of this stuff in here just, you know, just was not getting watered enough. The cactus, of course, they don't seem to care because you can see how nice and green those still are. That's what I'm just going to set over here. Okay, this looks like Eve's needle. Well, this one's kind of different. And I see a little, like a lady fingers in here. What is this one? Yeah. Okay, so these two little ones are still both okay. I'm not sure what that one is. This just looks like just a regular Eve's needle. I'll probably just get rid of that. Oh, and there's another little lady fingers there. So those are cute. I'll pull those off and, I don't know, put them somewhere. Okay, one more back here. And then, well, let's grab the sedum and get it out of here. Whoa, oh, there's a nice breeze this morning. It's not real strong, but when it hits you, it feels really good. Okay, so let go. All right, we're gonna set you right here. I'll definitely use that sedum somewhere. Maybe I'll try to keep it whole, dropping rocks everywhere. And then here's this last little cactus, and I thought I saw another little lady finger. Yes, I did, right here. And that one's pretty much dead. Okay, so I want to keep this soil because what I've been doing is I've been saving a lot of the soil from the old planters to put in, to dump on top of, you know, basically to make mounds of stuff. So I'm going to use, okay, what am I going to do in this? I'm going to use the edge to sit the plant on. There's a little thing in there. Canada. Do I have any Canadians watching? That's funny. This is cute. Okay, I must have sunk down in there, but I'm gonna put that somewhere. I love Canada. I would love to go up and, you know, and visit and tour around. Okay. So this is full of roots and stuff. So I don't really want to reuse this for anything. I'm just going to take it over and dump it out. But I do want to put more soil back in there because what I'm envisioning is the edge of the planter for the fairy garden, the top one is going to sit on here to hold it up. And then the other side is going to sit on the edge of the bowl that's lower. And then I'll have some room around it that I can put some plants in. But I'm thinking more like some taller, bushier succulents. Maybe some clumps of ghosties with some taller, straight stems. And I'm looking at this. Look at how happy this stuff is. I've kept it covered. I just pulled this screen off of it just now. But it gets hit with the sprinklers in the morning, so it's getting watered. I was just at Katie's, and I did grab a whole bunch more of these Echeveria imbricatas because they're just growing crazy, and she doesn't want them encroaching on certain areas, which they are. So she's like, just take all of these and take all of those. And so I took a bunch more. I just stuck them in here, and most of them still had roots on them. I just kind of they pull so easy out of the ground. But look at how they're all starting to, let me zoom in a little bit. They're all flowering. You can't mistake that Echeveria flowers. But yeah, they're all starting to flower. So they're happy right here. And then I've just got those couple little agaves in there. And then these were some sempervivums that I had left over in a bowl, and they're really starting to look better now. They were so hot and dry where they were. It looks like that one might not make it. But the rest of them are kind of coming back. So one little Aeonium sunburst right there. And then that other painted echeveria is there. So yeah, I'm gonna go dump this out and then think about what I want to put in there. I'm not gonna put anything in here yet, just simply because I'm not sure, you know, how much space I'm gonna have on that table, how much room the bowl's gonna take. And I can't do anything until my plants get here, which will probably be Wednesday. I haven't got a shipping notice from them yet, so they haven't been shipped. But the Mountain Crest Gardens is only like 4 hours from here, if that, 3 hours maybe, straight up I-5. So it usually ships overnight. It doesn't take them long to get here. But anyway, I'm gonna go dump this and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's what it looks like. It looks like I just used like a trash bag and just cut it up and tucked it in there, but you know, it worked. I mean, the wood held up, so it didn't fall apart. So I'm just gonna leave that in there. And then I'll probably put some fresh soil in there. And there's no drainage in it because I didn't put holes in the bag because, you know, like I said, I didn't want to be constantly soaking. Now, when I water, the outside gets wet, but it dries really quick. It doesn't sit there and soak. So I'm going to, God, it's so hot over there right now on the patio, but I need to go reorganize some of those plants on the porch. So I'm going to go do that, and then I'll be right back, and then I'll take you over and show you how it looks. Okay, so I cleaned this up a little bit over here. It's getting really hot right now. I think I might use this as a pool. It's just a glass heart, and make a little, you know, a little pond, a little fairy pond. I'll probably leave the fountain there. I need to put some more. I've got some fake green plants that I had from a project before, and I'm going to try and leave that palm there. I could plant that. I don't think I want to plant it though. I'll probably just leave it there if I have room. So I cleared the table off. I should be able to get my bowls. I might have to move that palm. But what I did, and I trimmed off the blooms off of here. This one was getting a bloom too, but I don't want it stressing that plant. It's so small still. And this one's still looking pretty rough. It looks like it got burned, although I haven't been keeping it covered. So I just put them all over here where the wooden one was, and I just kind of moved some stuff back. I put a couple, you know, right in there. So they'll still get a little bit of morning sun, but I probably won't leave them there for too long. I just need to reorganize. I wish this little shelf here got more sun than it does. I need to just get some plants that like a lot of shade, I guess. But all of these are just sitting right here, and they will be good here for a while because it gets shady pretty early on the porch here. And then I just kind of reorganized some of this stuff to put some of those epiphyllums back up. I don't want them getting fried. I did leave one big one down there, and I like that there. So hopefully I'll just see something that just really wants to go in that pot, and then I'll plant it up. I moved my lovely rose pot over here because they do like sun, and they'll color up. They'll get a really pretty pinkish mauve color to them, but they'll still get in the shade pretty early over here. And this little thing of whatever, you know, these were all stringy. I cut the tips off of them. They were like dying, and they've really taken off in this little bowl. I can't remember what these are. I think it's a crassula of some sort. And then I put this little cactus over. It'll get more sun here. So yeah, that's it for now. So I'm going to move those bowls out, and then I'll put that little wooden thing there and see how much room I can fit on that table. And then the nice thing is, when in the winter, when that thing starts pouring down, I did move the fountain because it got drenched last year. Although we did get holes drilled in that. So, oh, and another thing I'm going to do, I'm not liking how this looks. I need to find a place for these guys. But I don't know, it's just, and this one, look how big that cactus is getting. This one's really growing. This one will probably get flowers on it next year, maybe. And the Mexican fence post, one of them split, but these two, they're okay. But I want to pull everything out of there, and I'm going to do like this. I'm gonna stuff it, pack it with plants. I'll probably go buy some more Pearl von Nurembergs if I can find some, because I really like the purple color. And mostly what I have are the greens and, you know, bluish. You know, I don't really have too many purples. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And maybe I'll do that this week, and then I'll pot those cactus up somewhere. I don't know where, but I'll figure it out. But yeah, I'll bring you back when I get these bowls out here. It's too hot right now. I'll do it this evening. I'm just like, I need to go eat something. What time is it now? It's 10:15, and I didn't eat anything this morning, but 2 cups of coffee. So I'm gonna go make some food, and then I'll work on the rest of this later. I will have to come back out in a little while and cover all this stuff back up, because it is going to be hot again today. It's supposed to be 95, I think, and I do not want those to burn. In fact, you know what? I think I'll do that right now. I think I'll cover these guys right now. Yeah. Everything's looking good, though. They're going to love fall. This stuff is going to look, I think, amazing in another week, or another month, once we get into September. So, okay, we'll be back. Okay, so I did bring 2 of the bowls out, the big one and the small one, and the other one, it's not as big around as this one, but it's deeper. So it looks like I'm going to have to move that to make them all fit. And I think once I do that, they will, because I can move the fountain a little bit or just kind of rearrange the angle. And if worse comes to worse, I'll have to move that fountain too. But I have another one that I could use in here and make a little water feature in here, which would be really cute too. Actually, out of that bowl there, and then put that fountain somewhere else. So I might do that. So my plants still aren't here, and now it's saying they'll be here Friday, but I think they'll actually be here today, because they're here in Sacramento getting ready to be delivered. So they should be here today. But I'll end this video here, and then I'll bring you back when we start planting and put this together, and it's going to be really cute. So thank you for watching. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.